I'm sure by now everyone has seen the Computex AMD Keynote that's come out. They did introduce the Zen 5 chips. I was a little disappointed that they didn't compare the 9950X to the 7800X 3D, and they instead compared it to the 14900K, which is fine, but given the 7800X 3D is actually their flagship product for last generation, that's what most of us want to see, I think. So in this video, I did compare the 7800X 3D to the 9950X using data from Hardware Unboxing and Gamers Nexus. So we just need to know how they tested and what they used to test with it, what titles they used, etc. Let's see what AMD gave us, and then we'll go from there.
And in 1080p gaming, we know all of our fans love gaming. The 9950X delivers best-in-class gaming performance across a wide range of popular games.
So we know that they're testing at 1080p, and we do know the games that they are testing on. So if we take a look at the bottom of the official slide that they have, it says all results are up to Keynote GNR04. So if we take a look at GNR04, it says that they are using the Radeon RX 7900 XTX, and their systems are configured with DDR5 6000. So if we take a list of the games that AMD provided us, we do need to find results with the 7800X3D, the 14900K, and the XTX. The closest comp I can find is the 13900K and the 7800X3D with the XTX. That said, the difference between the 14900K and the 13900K is only about 2% difference. So we'll just add that 2% into our equations. All thanks to Hardware Unbox for doing the 7900 XTX RTX 4090 driver overhead video. We do have this data with the 7800X3D and the 13900K to go off of. We do have the 4 titles here with the exception of Far Cry 6. I'll show you why that's important later on. The F123 data wasn't available, but F122 was, so I did use that. Hopefully it didn't change much in a year. So these are the 4 titles we do have XTX information on with the 13900K, and once we factor in the 2% difference with the 14900K, I think you'll notice the 9950X looks a lot better against the 14900K than it does the 7800X 3D, which is probably why they opted not to use it. You'll notice they did take an L in Hitman 3, 2 wins in Cyberpunk and F1, and Horizon Zero Dawn is just a small margin, which definitely a lot less impressive against the X3D than the 14900K. Now let's go back to Far Cry 6 again, because AMD did actually provide some data with Far Cry 6. It was a little bit later on in the presentation, but we'll check that out real quick.
And we're delivering an average of 16% higher IPC across a broad range of application benchmarks in games.
So yes, it is a 16% IPC uplift, but for Far Cry 6 specifically, we only have that 10% number that they gave us. Now, if we take a look at the footnote, it actually says all results are up to Keynote GNR03. If we take a look at GNR03, it says they're testing the 9950X up against the 7700X. So here's where it gets a little messy, because we do have to take the 7700X results from Gamers Nexus, divide that by the 7800X 3D results, and this is in Far Cry 6 with the RTX 4090. We take that percentage and we multiply it by the 7800X 3D results that Hardware Unbox was able to get with the XTX. And if that wasn't enough, we have to go back to the GNR03 notes and take a look at the configuration for Zen 4, and you can find that the fixed frequency is 4 GHz for both Zen 4 and Zen 5, which is exactly how you demonstrate IPC gains. From there, you can see that the 7700X has a max boost clock up to 5.4 GHz, where the 9950X has a max boost clock up to 5.7 GHz. So the difference is about 5%. So this has to be added back into the 9950X results. And if you happen to have a 7800X and a 7800X 3D with a 7900X TX, I would be interested in seeing the percentage difference with that. Otherwise, it's just voodoo math from here. So now that you have seen our calculation on how we got to the Far Cry 6 data, let's see what it looks like all graphed up. So yeah, that does not look great for the Zen 5 product, at least. Up against the 14900K, it's down by 12%, even though the 7800X 3D is down by 1%. And mind you, this is with the XTX information. You can probably get a good idea of why the Far Cry 6 gaming result wasn't in the gaming slide. But also keep in mind that our results are basically napkin math in the Far Cry 6 data at least, so I do have data for a part 2 video. You definitely won't want to miss it. It's our NVIDIA edition, which features the RTX 4090 with the 7800X 3D, the 14900K, and the 9950X. AMD might have picked the games they picked for a reason and the setup they picked for a reason, so you definitely don't want to miss that one. If you enjoyed our data analysis, please like and share the video. And consider subscribing to our channel if you want to see some PC builds, benchmarks, and PC gaming in general. That said, maybe you'll like our sponsor, our PC selling startup. Buying a gaming PC can be overwhelming. At RotoGlow Games, we simplify by your target resolution. Stage 1 builds are for 1080p, Stage 2 1440p, and Stage 3 4K. Each build is unique, stress tested, and includes Wi-Fi standard. You can find us at rotorgg.com.